If you're making any form of content on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, do people still use Facebook? Then you need to be doing something called letterboxing. No, I'm not talking about sending them through the bloody post. Who do you think I am, some sort of postman? I'm talking about making them fit better on social media. We've seen them before, they are quite literally all over the place. They're on your LinkedIn feed, they're in your local McDonald's, they're even on the pyramids of Egypt. They are absolutely everywhere. So today, I thought I'd teach you how to put them together in under 15 seconds. Yeah, that's how easy they are. So let's jump in. Regardless of what video editing software you're using, the process is pretty much identical no matter which one you're on. This is Premiere Pro. There's going to be some for Final Cut. There's going to be some for iMovie or Camtasia or Adobe Rush or whatever you decide to use. The first and most important step to the success of this process is creating a new sequence that instead of it being 1920 by 1080, which is standard HD, you're going to want to change that frame size to 1080 by 1080, leaving it as a 1:1 project size. Name that whatever you want. I'm going to call it Letterbox Project 1. One setting changes the height and one setting changes the width. Depending on the numbers that you put in, these values are going to change and make a different sized project. And if they're both the same size, i.e. 1080 by 1080, what shape do you get? That's right, it's square.
Great!
The next thing you're going to want to do is import your footage. This is going to be standard HD footage. It's going to be shot 1920 by 1080, and this is where the magic happens. The next thing you're going to want to do is grab your video, put it into the 1080 by 1080 sequence and hit keep existing settings. It's going to look strange, it's going to look like it's cropped in, and it is, but we're going to change that in a second. You're going to want to click on your clip, go over to the effects controls, which should be in the top left. If not, it will be somewhere in here. If not, you click on Windows here and go down to effects controls, and it should be there. Make sure that's ticked. You're going to want to click on that and change the scale percentage to 57%. And there you go. You've done your letterbox. As easy as that. As you can see, we've got the top, we've got the middle, and we've got the bottom. The top tends to be for titles, the middle is for the content, and the bottom is for your captions. That is literally, you're an editing genius. You're an editing genius. Now, granted, this looks... What we've got to do now to jazz this up is create a bit of space to put something behind that video layer. That could be a block of color, that could be an image, that could be a video. Your imagination is quite literally your limitation here. A good understanding of how layers work is whatever is the highest is on top, whatever is the lowest is on the bottom. You have video layers and you have audio layers. Don't worry about your audio, we're strictly focusing on your video layers for this piece of content. Click and drag your video clip up to the second layer, meaning that you can now put something behind that original video layer, and there you go. Say for example you wanted to add a bit of color, you can go down to this little icon down here, click something called color matte, make sure that it's 1080 by 1080 because you want it to fit the size of your sequence, click OK, choose your color. I'm going to choose a nice V21 pink, which you can use, the hex code is FF005A, click on enter, hit OK, and what you're going to want to do is now drag this new color matte below your video layer, stretched out to the entirety of your sequence, and you can see it's added a bit of color behind the video, making that letterbox template a little bit more enjoyable to watch. And you don't have to stick to pink, you can make this your brand colors, you can add a gradient on this if you really wanted to. Like I said, your imagination is your limit here. You can now save that sequence, and whatever content that you make, as long as it's standard HD, as long as it's 1920 by 1080, you can drag that clip into the sequence. You can change the scale to 57% so it matches the sequence perfectly, you get that letterbox template. And it saves you potentially hours and hours of editing. The beauty of this is once you've got a template that looks perfect, say that you've added titles, say that you've added captions, you can just drag and drop and save that existing template so that it makes your process a lot faster and a lot easier in the long run. You might notice that all of my content on social media looks pretty much the same in terms of that the video is blurred in the background, it's got the pink title that moves from left to right, and you've got the captions down below. I don't do that every time. That is a template that I drag and drop the edited footage into, change the scale to 57% so it makes that letterbox template, and I export. That's literally it. But yeah, I hope that tutorial was useful. If it was, leave a like down below, leave a comment down below as well on what you want to learn next, and I might consider this some sort of series, but let's give it a go, and I'll see you guys in the next video.